Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 27th. We're going to jump right in here, Taurus. And you have this setbacks card that says, take one step forward to make two steps back. You have this unseen card that says, though you don't see it now, there's something better. So if you have been taking two steps back in a situation, then clearly there's something much more worth it that's coming in for you. You know, I feel you have the Tower, and I kind of feel like whenever I see something like this, especially in the first row, this to me would represent kind of more like reinvention energy or back to the drawing board type of energy where maybe you're working on a project, a business, or your health or whatever it is, you know, it could be anything in your life. And you are going back to the drawing board. You're just saying, you know, what I'm doing isn't working. I need to do something else. So I don't really see this as a bad thing. You're actually this like second or third sign that has had the Tower. And I only just started these readings. And already, you know, we have the Tower a bunch of times. So, you know, I think we're in a time of Tower moments. We're going to see a lot of Tower moments in the world. But I kind of see this as something... It's like something is not providing for you with that Six of Pentacles, and for a lot of you, it could be in work or business. And I feel that with the Tower, it just needs to be reinvented. It just needs to kind of, you have to kind of go back to the drawing board here and rework something. You even have the Temperance card right next to it, and Temperance is kind of like a card of trying to get something to work. You know, he's trying to turn water into wine. And so I kind of see this energy of you reworking something. I think that's a better way to put this. And sorry, Taurus, there we go. All right, now we can start. But anyway, you have the Six of Pentacles here. Six of Pentacles is like equal give and take, but he's not giving to this person right here. And so I kind of feel like you've been putting work into things and maybe you're getting results, maybe you're not. I would really pay attention to that. I always say with the Six of Pentacles that it's best that we pay very close attention to what's working, what's not working, because that's what the card wants us to do. It wants us to make sure that we are in a balanced situation. But, you know, with the Tower here, I kind of feel that something needs to be kind of like reinvented, or something needs to kind of go back to the drawing board here. And like I said, I feel for a lot of you, it's work related. I don't feel like this is bad at all. I mean, your cards look great, other than the Tower, although I don't think the Tower is a bad card anyway. So I think that if you are reworking something, that you are going to be successful in whatever it is that you're doing. So I like to see that. The Tower kind of sometimes, and I feel like something needs a shakeup. You know, I feel like something, you know, needs to be shaken up. Something needs to be, there needs to be like excitement. You know, there's a lightning bolt at the top of the Tower here. It's like something needs that type of, you know, like a sudden random idea, or, like you're going to have a light bulb moment maybe. And this new idea could be the thing that makes things better. But we're going to have to look into this. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands, of course, could be marriage. And there is a little bit of love here if you want it. So if you do want love, you know, there could be a person who's interested in you. I kind of look at the Four of Wands as a card of freedom, though. And so I feel like with this first row here, what this is saying is that, like, you need to complete one thing and then go to the next thing. This right here is kind of like a finish line. These people are celebrating on the other side of the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is really a card of completion. It really kind of represents wrapping up one stage, going to the next. So it is like something needs to also be wrapped up here so that you can find success. Yeah, with the Six of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups. Some of you might choose to completely walk away from something. Like, again, obviously, if something just isn't working in your life, you might just choose to walk away from it, which is also a good option, really, because, sometimes some things aren't meant to work. And so I think you're kind of like deciding whether or not you want to stay in something or not. This looks work-related to me, so whatever you do for work or business, that could be going on here. I also feel some of you could be making changes for finances. Like you could be moving, for example, like if you're retired for something, if you're retiring or if you're retired, you could be, moving somewhere that's like cheaper or, doesn't charge taxes on your retirement or something like that. I don't know. Like all those things are popping into my head right now. So I kind of feel this is more like you walking away from things, but it's more like wise decisions. Let's put it that way, right? With the Tower, you have the Page of Cups. You could be meeting a person here, and it could be quite a surprise. So maybe you're not looking for love or you're not expecting it, but there definitely could be an admirer. We have 3 pages here as well. So some of you definitely have like a secret admirer or someone who's interested in you. With the Four of Wands, you have the Sun. Completing something will make you happy. This really tells me that, getting out of a situation or bringing something to an end will probably set you free with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of freedom and being set free. So sometimes I think when we just walk away from something that isn't working, we feel a lot better, or we feel like we're making progress, or whatever the case may be here. So I do feel this could lead to a lot of happiness. Again, if you are trying to rework something, I think that Sun could say there's going to be a lot of happiness there too. You have this ultimate fulfillment card. It says you're now entering into a time of peace, happiness, and fulfillment. And I would protect your peace here as well. You have this choose a path card. It says there are many paths before you, but you may only choose one. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles can come up when we want to give to multiple things, or maybe we feel like we want to commit to multiple things. I always like to remind people as well that, the Six of Pentacles doesn't say you can't work on things in the future, but it just says right now, work on one thing. Whether this is a business idea in your career or your health or whatever, it's like focus on one thing, make it happen, and then move on to the next thing. I always talk about how, in my life, I started breaking things down into quarters. I tried to accomplish like one big thing per quarter, totally changed my life. I used to just, think about my ideas, think about all the different things I wanted to do, and I got nothing done, right? Period. So when I broke it down to quarters and I said, I'm just going to do one thing per quarter, I got so much more done. And it's like, yeah, most of my ideas don't work, but, one big idea per year is all you need. And, that's coming from experience here. So again, sometimes I think, really you only need to have like one big win every single year. So even if only one of my ideas works, that's good enough. That, takes care of the whole year. And I feel like that's what this is saying. It's like saying right now, just focus on one thing. Make it 90 days. Just say for the next 90 days, next quarter, we're in June basically. So for, the second quarter, whatever quarter this is technically, third quarter, I have no freaking clue, but whatever quarter we're in right now, for the next quarter, I'm just going to work on one thing. I'm going to make it happen. And if it doesn't happen the next quarter, I'm going to work on something else. I think that will free you up. It will give you a lot of time. You'll know exactly what you're supposed to be working on as well, instead of like being scattered and all over the place. And I think it will help you focus. You have the Seven of Swords, Temperance card, and the Fool. The Seven of Swords is a card of tactics. It comes up for basically everyone. We're in a very tactical time. I think we need to make sure that if we're trying to accomplish something, that we're doing it in the most efficient way possible. He's stealing those swords from that army in the background, and it just represents that he's stealing those swords so they can't go to war with him the next day in battle. And it's a different way of going to war. He's not hurting anyone or killing anyone. He's just taking the sword so they can't be used. So for you, it says, like, whatever you're trying to accomplish, is there a way to do it that is different or tactical or smarter or, more, kind of tricky? We're not talking, he can represent being a trickster, but, we're not talking about tricky in a bad way. We're just talking about, being tactical. You have the Temperance card. Again, I get this rework type of energy. You're reworking something, and whatever it is, maybe that's the thing you should focus on for the next, 90 days is just focusing on, kind of going back to the drawing board, experimenting with like what's the best way to do things, and then going from there. He's trying to turn water into wine, but right here, this is the path to glory, and he could just get off onto that path, and he would have a lot of success. So I feel for a lot of you, this is saying, you could just kind of like focus on this one thing, whatever you're trying to accomplish right now, and make it happen. And that's what I would do with that card. You have the Fool. Definitely time to take a leap of faith. You even go up to the Page of Pentacles, to the Ace of Cups. You could be taking a leap of faith on a person, if you're interested in love. But you could also just be taking a leap of faith on something new. The Page of Pentacles is just like a new beginning. It can also represent receiving communication or communicating about a new beginning. So I feel for a lot of you, you're just taking a leap of faith. Let's see. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Five of Swords. I would be careful, of course. Six of Pentacles is kind of like a breadcrumber energy. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing. So some of you could be walking away from a person who's a liar, cheater, stealer. Or maybe you already have. And this is leading to like your true love, Knight of Cups right here. With the Temperance card, you have the Chariot. Yeah, this is the way to have a victory in your life here, Taurus. I'm telling you right now, is like focusing on one thing, making it happen. Chariot says where there's will, there's a way. If you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. And I feel that the Chariot is about taking control. He's the card of hard control in the tarot. The Strength card is a card of soft control. You actually have both. So you have hard control, soft control right here. So hard control is like really taking control of the reins and making things happen. That Strength card is more passive. more passive energy. It's coming up at the end of your reading. So, sometimes I do think to take control of a situation, we have to, take hard control, meaning we really have to make things happen. And then once we do that, then we can get into strength energy, meaning like over time, once, if you're building a business, at first you have to take hard control. You really have to make things happen. But as time goes on, you get employees or you do whatever you're going to do, then you can kind of back off a little bit and you can release some of the control, or, there are things happening like passively. And the transition here is really standing out to me. This could be in your personal life as well. Like you could be taking control of a situation to make love happen in your life. But like once it happens, then you can kind of relax a little bit. So that's what I think you're doing here is like you're, in the future, you're going to be relaxing in whatever this is. With the Fool, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is about following your heart. You could be, again, taking a leap of faith towards your heart or, towards a person. We have these 3 pages here. I actually feel like it's one person. You might just, sometimes I feel when we have these pages, it's like you're not sure where you stand with a person. You might not even have a person yet. So it's like you might not understand how you stand in the world. Like you might not understand like what you're going to attract, right? But it looks like you're attracting a Knight of Cups. You have this Great and Full card. You also have the Spirit of Gratitude card. So I feel like you are going to be grateful and, just grateful. Both cards kind of represent gratitude and overflowing gratitude. I think gratitude is the best energy right now, that if we express gratitude for the things that we have or the things we want, we will get them. More of those things. So I would be expressing gratitude here. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. The Four of Pentacles is kind of like holding on too tightly to the way things used to be. And I feel that opening up to, again, new ways of doing things is going to lead to success. I would also I'm not telling you to not get attached to your ideas, but I do feel like a more of a less attachment to your ideas would be a good idea. Sometimes he can be like a little stubborn. He's very attached to making something work, but he can't do anything. He's got the pentacle in his hand. He's got the one on his head. He's like balancing it on his head. So it's like he's only thinking about, accomplishing one thing, and it doesn't allow him the freedom of movement. And so I do feel we have the Four of Wands in the same diagonal. That kind of like opening up or having freedom of movement is going to be important for you. And, if there's anything that you're holding on too tightly to that's slowing down, I would open up. And I think what you're opening up to is something new. You have the Page of Pentacles right here. So the Page of Pentacles is like a new idea, something new and exciting. It's something new that you're learning about as well. The Page of Pentacles represents education. So, it's kind of like the card of studiousness and having to learn something. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be learning like new ways of doing things or upgrading your skills. It's kind of funny because it's like, I almost get like, I don't know how to say what I want to say, but it's almost like, you are going through a Saturn return, but not like really, but I'm just saying you might be, some of you, but, it's almost as if you're going through some sort of Saturn return and you're like reinventing the way that you work. And, it's not exactly like a Saturn return. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like you have a choice to stay stuck with the old ideas or embrace new ideas. And I feel like that's what this is encouraging right here. You even have the Page of Swords, which I think is encouraging the same thing. Page of Swords is a card of curiosity. So I think the more curious you can be, the better. The more you can look into new ideas or new ways of doing things, the better with the Page of Swords. He is curious, but he needs to follow his curiosity because it might be leading him to, bigger and better things, new ideas, new ways of doing things. With the Page of Four of Pentacles, you have the Justice card. Justice is cause and effect. It says if you put energy into something, what do you get out of it? And if the answer is nothing, then make a change. We literally see this right here with that Six of Pentacles. So I think here's the other thing as well. Now I have the hiccups, right? Is that sometimes I think we like work on something that's down here, but we're like up here. And, by like working on something where our energy would be better used up here for something bigger, it's like when we do that, it's like we're cheating ourselves. So I would make sure, it's like your efforts like match this level, right? And it's like if you're working on things that are a lower level, it's kind of like you're cheating yourself out of greatness or good things or whatever. And I kind of get that energy here where it's like the same amount of effort you're putting into, a low effort, a project that maybe isn't working or a job that isn't working or whatever. It's like that same effort could produce like 10 times the results up here. And that's kind of how I see this reading. I hope that makes sense. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles. Again, learning better ways to do things. I think the whole entire reading is basically getting at that you are, educating yourself and learning what kind of moves the needle forward, what leads to more success for you. And that's what I would pay attention to here. Same thing in love, right? If you're cheating yourself in love, if you're with a person who, is doing nothing, who's a lazy slouch, right? Then you're kind of cheating yourself out of something that's really could be very good for you with the Knight of Cups. With the Page of Swords, you have the Temperance card. Again, we see a bunch of repeating cards here. Repeating cards are basically the universe saying I meant what I said. I feel like that Page of Swords and the Temperance card is saying that you have being curious and being open to new ways of doing things is how you are going to change your situation. Again, we get this reworking energy from this reading. It's like doing your research, looking into things, being curious. That's going to be the thing that creates the biggest change. Next, you have this water card. It says emotions are at their peak. You have this honor and good luck card. So I feel like there is a lot of good luck coming in for you. A lot of happy emotions. You have that great and full card, which reminds me of the Ace of Cups. You have the Ace of Cups in this row. This row represents the good stuff, by the way. So you could be getting something that you've always wanted or happiness. The emotions at your peak card, that, the card that says your emotions are at their peak, that could be the Ace of Cups, your emotions overflowing, being really happy, having good things happen for you. But I think this is going to come from, setting yourself free from these old ideas or, trying new things, basically. So I would be open to trying new things with the Ace of Cups. I think that there's good stuff coming in for you with this card. This could clearly be a love offer. It could be a fire sign, earth sign, water sign. You have the air as well. You have basically everything. So it could be any sign that's making you an offer. I would say that, again, you have these cards that kind of represent being at peace. And we have this dove right here. So I would make sure that you are only inviting peace into your life. And I would protect your peace as well. You have the Strength card, again, soft control. I think this is what you're trying to get to. I mean, this is where I was going with that with the Chariot, is like, I think that you are laying a base, you have the tower gets reduced down to its foundation. I think you're already building a new foundation in some area of your life, and you're trying to get to this place where you aren't having to, always be in control, or you're not always having to, put in extra effort and things like that. So it's like you're building up to something. And I really am not getting any traditional strength stuff except for soft control. And that's what I feel here with the Strength card. You have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a knight in shining armor. So there could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you clearly. There could be like true love coming in for you if you want it. I also feel that the Knight of Cups can sometimes be like your dream life. And we see a lot of cards that would represent planting seeds. Six of Pentacles here, mostly Page of Pentacles even. So I think you're kind of like planting seeds for your future, and you're creating a lot of growth here as well. This is a really good reading, Taurus, if you can't tell. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Fool again. So in the same direction, going this way, we have the Fool twice. I feel like some of you could be taking a leap of faith on a person. It's like you're trusting, you're just seeing, maybe in the future, seeing how something goes. This is the area of the good stuff, but I also consider this last row to kind of be your outcome, or like your future outcome, let's put it that way. And so I feel for some of you, maybe this month, May or June, you're meeting a person, and it's kind of like just the beginnings. I think you're just starting it, but you're starting to open up with the Fool card. With the Strength card, you have the Four Wands, marriage. So we have the Four Wands twice in your reading here. I think this will make you very happy. I mean, it's attached to the sun. And, it could be a Leo or a person who has Leo in their chart that's coming in for you. But the Four Wands is marriage. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Six Wands. You have victory, success. You also have two sixes in this diagonal right here. Two sixes to me basically is confirmation for your path. It says that you are going in the right direction. You're doing the right things that you need to be doing to move forward or to get ahead. So love it. You have the Secrets card. This is a good card. It's not like someone with secrets, although, with the Seven of Swords, I would be careful if you're meeting a secretive person. But what I would say is that this is a card of curiosity, just like the Page of Swords. So clearly you're in a time where you have to be curious about, what you're working on or what you're creating, or, curious about new ideas, right? Next, you have this Endurance card. You have a bunch of Scorpio cards here. Tower, this card, Scorpio. It's Sun and Scorpio. The Secrets card is Venus and Scorpio as well. So you could be attracting a Scorpio. But this is a card of endurance. It's like the Chariot. The Chariot is about not giving up and continuing to charge forward. Endurance is basically the same thing. So, I think you're charging towards success here. You have this Protection card. I think it's a time where we all have to take risks. This card comes up quite a bit in these readings, and, I think we all have to take some sort of risk here. You have this vision card. I do think your vision is important. This is why I'm saying like one idea per quarter. You know, like whatever you're trying to change or do in your life, I would like pick one big thing per quarter and hold it as your vision. And again, people always ask me what happens the next quarter. Do I keep working on it? I'm like, yes, if it's working, keep working on it, and don't pick something else. Or maybe you do if if you have enough time. But what I would say is if you find something that works like one quarter, just keep going. Don't stop. But I would take like one risk per quarter to work on a big something. You have this influence card. I actually like this for you. I think you could be attracting a person of influence. I feel like this is pretty good. Normally this card is like toxic influence, but I feel pretty good about it. I feel like you could be like attracting an influential person or a person who has like some pull in life. Let's put it that way. But this looks amazing, Taurus. I see a lot of good changes and just good stuff in general coming in for you here. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.